Good.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Oh, thank you.
All right, I think we're ready. Yeah. Good afternoon. Welcome to the Matchday -1 press conference for the 2026 UEFA Europa League Final in Istanbul. Today we start with Aston Villa. Joining me on stage is manager Unai Emery, John McGinn, and Emiliano Martinez. We have simultaneous translation available in English, German, and Turkish. So please ask a question in one of these languages. And finally, please state your name and media before asking a question with the microphone. And raise your hand if you want to ask a question. Tommy, take it away.
Ready whenever you are. On you go, Rob. Middle.
Yep.
Thank you. Afternoon all. Rob Jones from Sky Sports. Unai, your team have made it this far. You've been here so many times before. Are you confident that these players can take the final step?
Good afternoon. The most important experiences we can have individually, of course, is something fantastic, but we are speaking about our experiences here with Aston Villa. 3 years ago, semi-final in Conference League. Last year we played quarter final in Champions League, and this year the final. And we played matches, enough matches in Euro we played. And those experiences are very important for us. How we were playing during the process this year, how we played last year, the first leg, second leg, different rounds, the groups, and how much now is a new chapter forward to play one final. But we must try to, everything we are here, building here, learning, to try to set tomorrow on the field. Of course, tomorrow is something tactically, is something individually with our skills, and is as well something emotionally. And this is a new challenge we have together here. We are confident, but we are so respectful. Always we are so respectful with Europa League, with the teams we are facing. And tomorrow, Freiburg, they are here because they deserve it.
John, the manager talks about emotion there. Have you pictured the moment that you will lead out Aston Villa in a European final? And what will your final message be to your teammates tomorrow?
Yeah, I've pictured it because that's the dream at the start of the season, to get to the final. We were in the Conference League 2 seasons ago. The dream was to get to the final. We didn't achieve it. Champions League last season, the dream was to get to the final. We didn't achieve it. But this season we managed to deal with each game and each round with the same respect that we will treat Freiburg with. They deserve to be in the final. But the final message I'll have to our players is play the same way that we have done as a group over the years to be in this position, and that's what I'll say.
Unai, hello. Ian Dennis, BBC Radio. Forgive the long question, but I remember 2 years ago, Vicente Iborra, when Olympiacos played Aston Villa, somebody who you know well, you won 4 trophies with him. He said, I've learned many things from Mr. Emery, but one thing I will never forget from him, in order to experience this great moment in your lifetime, one has to long for it. So how do you do it? Do you speak to the players collectively, or do you speak to them individually?
Both. This is a process. A process is how we still building the team and building our structure collectively, individually. Structure is tactical, structure is individually. How we must respond in the moment we are. Like now, for example, one final. But now it's a new experience we will have tomorrow. And as well, it's very important in our structure how we are managing our emotions. And we play it for a lot of matches under a lot of emotions, and the pressure is here as well. But we must try to understand the pressure like something positive, not negative. And the pressure is when you are playing for something important. And of course, we have experience here, me, here, John McGinn as well. They have a lot of experiences. But here, our experiences here is the most important. Because we are here together, we are the player, we are Aston Villa, we have our supporters, and we are doing this way, of course, understanding how difficult it is to get here. But how we did everything, of course, is a huge experiences we had here, and to work one more, and then try to play confident, try to play personality, and the only way to play personality, to play confidence, is to be so intense in our focus for tomorrow.
And John, Ezri Konsa has posted a stirring message on social media where he says, believe. When you believe, and you've got a World Cup winner behind you, how much belief does that give you?
Yeah, absolutely. Since Emi arrived at the club, he's been absolutely first class. Obviously, he managed to grow as a player at Aston Villa, win the World Cup well at Aston Villa. But for us, we know we've got a top-class goalkeeper behind us. And like you said, we've also got Ezri, among other defenders, who have grown together with us. And now Ezri's a regular in the England squad. And it's not like him to show a bit of emotion. So that was quite nice. We need to get to finals more often. And then he can give his opinion.
Tom.
Emiliano, you've been to the top of the game, as John mentioned, with the World Cup final. How special is this in comparison to what you did with Argentina, facing a major final like this?
I think it's different. You know, I went into my first Copa America with Argentina, and I remember Argentina losing 3-4 finals on penalties. 2 Copa Americas in a row, losing on penalties. So I went into my first Copa America without seeing Argentina win a trophy. So I think I was 26, 27 years old. And this is the same. As a Villa fan, you know, they always, in Birmingham, they would say, I've never seen Villa in European final, I've never seen Villa lifting a trophy. So I kind of go in, it's the same mindset as I went into my first Argentinian Copa America, you know, with that anger, with that belief, and with that confidence that I can do it. You know, if it's something that I got, that I believe in my team and in myself, like, you know, like I said, I never go into the final thinking that I have to win it. I always go and enjoy the moment, you know, and I do it for the people and I do it for my family.
Good afternoon, Coach. Good afternoon, Radek Selmayr from Czech Republic. I have a question on Coach and on the player, because in the 2019 Europa League Final, you had in the net Petr Cech. And I would like to ask, do you see any similarities between these players, like Petr Cech and here, Emiliano Martinez? Or how are you happy that you have
Probably
Emiliano in the team?
The same high, no?
Yes, 1 year with Petr Cech, a fantastic guy, fantastic. As a person, really, a fantastic guy. And as a professional, I can't tell nothing than the level he achieved always. We played the final, of course we lost this final. I don't want to remind this final because we lost. But of course, now with Emiliano, we are working together here in Aston Villa. Even we worked in Arsenal, and I know his personality, I know his capacity, his ambition, and of course this is very, very important for me. The capacity with ambition.
A question for John. It's Steve Herman from BBC Radio WM. Tyrone Mings spoke early this week, and he said he's not one for reflecting on the past because he was asked about the Championship playoff final. Do you reflect on that, and does it make this journey extra special that you've been on to be here now?
I think it does, because if we lose that match, are Aston Villa here at the minute? Probably not. The club had just been taken over by Nassef and Wes, who are still contributing now. So the journey has been amazing, and each player, each staff member, each manager has played a small part in the growth of the club. And this is an important moment. It's hard to believe 7 years ago that we were competing in a final to get into the Premier League. But I think for us tomorrow night, it'll be nice to see the supporters who were there, Rotherham away, Wigan away, nights like that on a Tuesday night when it's very easy to stay at home. They deserve it just as much as the players do, and hopefully we can give them something to remember.
Good afternoon, Coach. Benjamin Benamou, Canal Plus France. Quick question about Luca Digne, who's just been called up for the French national team for the World Cup. How important is he in the squad, and what do you expect from him when he's on the pitch?
Lucas Digne is as a professional is really a high-level professional every day, and as a competitor player as well, his level is high level. And then he usually played matches like that because he played in a lot of teams with a lot of experiences and playing for titles like PSG, like Barcelona, like Rome. And when we arrived here, he was more or less not completely keeping the level he had before, but himself he's working a lot again to recover collectively and individually his position, and he came back again with the national team, and he's been very important for his consistency, his experience, his capacity as well, and his mentality. He has a high-level mentality we need. He has it.
Good evening, Alexander Yeremy, Focus Sport. Two questions. Firstly, for Emiliano Martinez. Freiburg is maybe one of the most dangerous teams in dead ball situations. They have Grifo, a good free kick taker. They have Beste. Have you prepared especially for this? Maybe you have studied them extra time.
Yeah, we Javi Garcia, and Austin, we analyze always teams in the Premier League. You know, I'm used to being blocked by two defenders or two people in the Premier League. So I'm used to the physicality. I like it. I enjoy it. I know the threat. So I want to be really aggressive tomorrow in the air. I want to command my box. I remember with Argentina in the final against Colombia. And Colombia scored 85% of the goals in the Copa America in set pieces in dead balls. I know Freiburg, they're very good at it. So I think if I control my box and if I command my box like I have to, I think it's a major threat that we avoid from them. So that's something I'm going to work today on the pitch with my goalie coach, and hopefully tomorrow I can stand out in that area.
Hi, John. Adrian Durham, TalkSport. Congratulations on making the Scotland squad for the World Cup. You're into double figures goals this season. The way you've been putting them away, it feels really natural. You feel really calm. It seems like you're really calm and confident and totally in control. Could that possibly change because it's such a big occasion, a big final? Or will you just stay calm in front of goal?
Yeah, thank you very much for that. No, I think stay calm. Obviously, I've grown a lot as a player. I'm fortunate enough to work with top players and top coaches, and every single day you learn how to manage situations, both in front of goal, both defensively, and I feel, even though I'm 31, I feel as if I'm learning every single session, every single match, and I like to think I work hard at my finishing. We've got a lot of coaches here behind the scenes who focus on improvements, and certainly for me, my improvement as a player was to try and contribute goals and assists, and the manager puts a lot of demands on me to get 10 goals, and eventually this season I've managed to get it, so hopefully tomorrow it can be 11 or 12.
Unai, I'm Jack Russell from The Sun. It's been mentioned that Ezri Konsa has written a piece today, and he spoke about how at the start of the season you called a meeting to tell the players just how worried you were, and he mentioned they'd never seen you quite so concerned about the form before. Could you just take us back to that start of the season and how special it would be for you to end it with a fifth Europa League, given that start?
Yes, every season can happen like we had this year. Sometimes up, sometimes down, but we started so poor at the beginning of the season for different reasons. But how the players responded in the difficult moment for me was really amazing. Of course, we needed to push them. We needed to have a lot of meetings, but the players, they were involved in the situation we were, and we were being mature in the difficult moment. This is, I think, the most important characteristic as a team we had during the season. Mature and responsible. And this is the consequence now how we are. Mature and responsible, and in the difficult moment to be together. The priority was be professional, and we did it. And then, of course, the quality of the players is really fantastic. And how we are competing in Premier League, achieving the Champions League position, and now playing this final. I was worried at the beginning of the season, really worried. And I was always trying to find solutions in each moment. And I needed the players. I needed as well the work we did and the reaction we did, and we are here for it. But obviously, we did it together.
It's Elvandine from ESPN Latin America. Emiliano, you said goodbye a year ago with tears in your eyes. How does it feel to be experiencing this final? And have you thought about penalty kicks?
Well, I said goodbye and I cried when I left my family from Argentina to England as well. And I still with my family nowadays. Sometimes football can change, managers can come in and go. In football, people moves around the place. It doesn't mean that I have full respect and love for the club. I had a commitment with Aston Villa. I'm a World Cup winner with Aston Villa. I won 2 Golden Gloves with Aston Villa. I will always and forever love this club, no matter what. One day I'm going to retire, so someone else will have to be between the sticks. But listen, I'm in a European final. We are in Champions League again, with all the circumstances, the up and downs, the budget that we had this year. I don't know if Damian is right, but we were the lowest spenders in the Premier League. But we got a top coach, we got a top captain, we got a decent core of the team. And when we stick together, when we fight together, I think we can beat anybody. So I'm really proud to stay. I made the right choice. And in the penalties, to be fair, their goalkeeper is pretty decent. It's pretty good. So I will have to push myself a little bit harder. He's a good goalkeeper in goal. But I always have that in my mind, a shootout. It's something that I really enjoy. For me, it's a different competition. It's not, it's different. I don't know how to explain it. Hopefully, Digne scored 2 goals, like he said, and we finish in 90 minutes. If not, I will be fully prepared and I will back myself every day of the week for that shootout.
Hi, Emmy. Ben Fisher from The Guardian. The core of this group has obviously been together quite a long time now. How important do you think it is to have something to show for it at the end of it, obviously, in terms of a trophy this week? What would that mean?
It's massive, Like I said, I've been with, McGinn, Konsa, Watkins, Mings, since Kashi, since I've been in the club. We've been so many years, so many games together, fighting from mid-table to European places to semi-finals, and now we're in a final. I think we deserve it. I think the fans deserve it. And obviously the manager had 4 or 5 finals in these competitions. We don't wish anyone else apart from him on the bench tomorrow leading us to European final. But listen, every time I go into a final, I never think about the outcome. I always think where I come from, leaving my family behind when I was young. So I always think, and when I'm in the game, whatever happens, I know how tough times I had in England. When I was young, missing my family. Even though I'm a World Cup winner and I had a few titles with the national team, I still think about that young kid who left Argentina to save his family from poverty.
Good afternoon, Huzaifa Hamza from Integral Media. Mr. Unai, I believe Ben Fisher called you the king of Europa League. So, as the king of Europa League, would you reveal some of your secrets and tell us what's more important in final games? Is it the player characteristics or the game plan itself? So there is that debate about like the players' abilities and personalities, or the game plan and the tactics. Would you tell us what's more important in the finals?
Of course, each match in different competition, you must try to build your mentality, not now, not for tomorrow. We must build it during the process. We must build it. The first match we played against Newcastle at home, we played Carabao Cup in Brentford, and we lost there. And football is very difficult, and to win in football is very difficult, and to win trophies more difficult. And being realistic, I am of course happy everything we are doing, but I know tomorrow is going to be very difficult. And if you are not respecting the opponent, you are closer to lose. If you are not respecting Europe like we did during the process, we were not here. This is the strong mentality we had before, but we must show tomorrow the same mentality and not thinking in the match after how it's going. Thinking in the first minute, the second minute, the third minute, your task. Be ready to do as better as possible everything you are going to face tomorrow. And to win a title is a consequence. As a consequence is not another. The consequence is the process we are. And tomorrow, if we are playing in our best performance, we are going to be close to win. If we are playing in a bad performance, we are not going to win. This is the only way. And I am not a king in this competition. I am now again with Aston Villa in a new chapter. And everything I did is done. And of course, is there in that moment. But with it, I am not winning tomorrow. I need to win tomorrow with the player we are now, with Aston Villa now, with the opponent we will face tomorrow. Now is a new way, a new moment, and hopefully a new era.
I know you preempted my question there. Hi, Nick Mashter from BBC Sport. Do you not look back at your legacy in this competition then? 4 wins, your 6th final, maybe 5 wins tomorrow. Do you look at your legacy at all? And if you were win tomorrow, what legacy would that leave at Aston Villa?
I don't want to speak about the thing we did before. This is the reason I am trying to answer all the questions about with Aston Villa, how we are doing the way. I started with it and I want to continue with it and finish with it. The most important is our experiences here and how we are managing those moments. Now, this year, and the days and the matches we played before in conference or in Champions League. And we are here, of course, very good players, and they are showing their capacity to play in the high level, through the Premier League, in the high level in Europe, not now. 2 years ago, not now, last year, and again now. And tomorrow we have a huge challenge how we are responding. As a team, we are building, or as a team, we are thinking we are here and we are going to win here this match, thinking in the next party on Friday. No.
Good afternoon, Unai. Jacob Townsend from The Athletic. What is the latest on Amadou Onana? Is he fit enough to potentially start the game? He trained yesterday. He's going to train today. And we will decide it tomorrow if he's feeling 100% well. Of course, he's an important player for us. But the last matches without him and without Camara and with different options as well we played, I am confident.
Last question here. Thank you.
Quentin Jesp, 90 Min. Question for you, John. Is that the proudest you've ever been to be the Aston Villa captain?
No. Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah, I'd say so. It's been a brilliant journey. full of ups and downs, close moments, very close to going back to the Championship. It fills me with pride as to where the club is now, and it also fills me with pride as to where this club could go. Like the manager's touched upon, this isn't something we want to come here and celebrate in a sort of fanfare way. We want to be focused on this match. We know how good Freiburg are. We know how difficult it is to get to a final. So we'll treat them with the utmost respect, like they deserve, and we will only build as a club if we keep doing the same things that we are doing. But if you ask on a personal level, after all the years I've been here, definitely is the proudest moment as captain here.
Okay, thank you very much. The open training session will begin momentarily.
Thank you. Okay.